Good evening. I am the one, the only Matic B. Mobley sitting here with B. Brown.
Hey, people.
And B. Brown brought a straggler again.
I love this guy right here. I tell you, I brought in a good friend of mine. This is Mr. Maurice Rush from My Brother. Say what's up to the people.
Oh, man, I thought he was going to give me an illustrious intro.
Listen.
Every time I introduce him, I almost make him cry. And that's how he repays me, man. And that hurt my heart a little bit.
Don't do that. Listen, he is, my guys, we were just talking about how many hats you wear. He is a podcaster as well. You describe my brother as a podcast, right?
Yeah,
it's a blog.
Yeah, web show podcast.
Web show.
Man.
Okay. Are you still in ministry?
I am. I actually just got asked to be Judas. I'm in the Good Friday play. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but I'm playing.
Because you did some acting too.
Yeah, but Judas.
Okay, so he an actor. He's a podcaster. He is a youth leader, director of men's course, social work. He's a community activist. He's an autism dad. You talking about my resume? It's a lot. You do a lot, bro.
Yeah, that's what my hairline is proceeding. Shut up. I'm not talking about it. No,
is that what this is about right here for me too? Like,
no.
Lucky you.
Silk press.
I just try to be a solution, though, guys. Like there's a lot of problems in the world. A lot of people complaining about problems, and I just try to be a solution to those problems. So. And almost everything that Vince named, it was something that I try to do to solve the problems in our city. So I complain about them too, but you can't complain without trying to make a change about them. So
yes, without action. But before we dive any deeper, folks, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Please like, comment, and most of all, share, because that's how we grow.
Don't forget to sponsor now.
And our sponsor, but my hoodie's in the laundry. But we can't forget Global Unity is our sponsor. Dope hoodies, dope clothes with a message.
Graceful, glamorous, genius, genuine, endearing, all wrapped up in one. Creating global unity, streetwear with a positive message. Come shop with us at globalunityclothing.com. Also, follow us on IG at global_unity_clothing. Stay positive.
What do you got on the topic, Brown?
Well, I wanted to give my friend, like we don't do this often, I wanted to give him first topic. Yes, the first topic goes to my brother.
This is a first.
Yeah. Because I know we with the shits all the time. And
unheard of.
We get goofy, we go get to some of that. But one thing that we are mental health advocates, and especially for men's mental health. We've talked about this often. We are pro therapy. Get you some therapy.
Wow.
Get out there and heal yourselves, brothers. So that's why I'm giving Brother Reese the first topic of this evening.
I'm surprised. You know what I'm saying? He put his ego aside.
I'm not a Devo.
Hey, but another person lead the charge. Listen, go back on the tapes. Never done before. Never.
No,
I want to hear it. Go ahead. I'm interested. I have to turn to you like this.
Right. So like I do a lot of these shows and my own stuff, and I'm like usually like, hey, I don't like the research because I get nervous. I'm usually just like, what am I talking about tonight? He's like, you pick it. And it's funny you guys mentioned mental health because my therapy sessions are every other Tuesday night. Shout out to Aaron. He moved to California, but he still sees me. So I see him at like almost 10 p.m. because he's just getting off of work around that time. And I had a whole breakdown last night, if I'm being honest. Like for the hour-long session, I probably cried like 50 minutes of it. And when I first started, like at minute 5, I was like, all right, I gotta pull it together. And he was like, why? This is you being you. This is how you feel. Like you gotta let it out sometimes. Be yourself. So when he asked me when I want to talk about it, I was like, let's talk about authentic me. Being authentic me, man, in the world where everybody wants to be someone else, in the world where everyone's following social media trends, in the world where everybody want to be the next couples goal, relationship goals, job goals, Let's talk about wanting to be you. I want to be me.
And what does that look like?
Um, you introduce all the titles that I wear, right? Like you do this and you do that and you do this and you do that and you do this. And people often ask me, like, man, like you're so busy. Like, how do you always have so much energy? How do you have energy to do this? Like even today, I was in Delaware earlier, drive back from Delaware, work my actual job, work my second job, come straight here and do this. And people are like, how do you do it? Do you drink coffee? No. I don't wear a mask anywhere I go, so I don't get tired, right? Like I'm the same dude at work that I am outside of work, that I am at home, that I am with my kids, that I am in the men's choir, that I am like in all of these areas. And it's like I got too much going on to try to be somebody else, man. Like,
Right.
you touch more lives by being yourself than you ever will trying to be yourself, and you avoid burnout. So I'm excited to talk about just being me, loving yourself, learning how to be you, and then also learning how to avoid spaces that won't accept you for who you are, which is a big thing, right? Like that's a big fear that us, especially as black men, have. It's just this fear of, man, like I can't be myself at work because I'm not gonna get that promotion.
Right.
Well then fuck that job. Excuse my French. Can I curse?
No, you
Absolutely.
Right. Like you're not gonna promote me for being myself. Well, fuck you. I'll find somebody else who will, right? Okay, you're not gonna let me in this program because I'm being myself. Oh well, cool. I can't get on your podcast for you myself. Okay, cool. Now obviously within reason, right? Like I wouldn't go on to my boss and say "fuck you"
Right. Of
with a
course.
promotion, but like within reason. But like you always want to feel like you're being yourself, and like been to a test. So like I just have this gravitational allure. Like people are literally drawn to me sometimes, and I'm like, it's fatiguing sometimes at like how quickly I connect with people. But it's because I'm always bringing myself to the front, and
Right.
people really respect that. People appreciate that, and you connect with a lot more people by being you than trying to be someone else.
True indeed. True indeed. What does that look like for you, man?
Oh man. You already know what it looked like for me. It's never a day that I don't be me. It's never a day. It was ever since, like I said on this podcast before, when my dad told me it was okay to be everything I am. I ain't look back. I ain't look back. Take me as I am. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? You sometimes you do have to dial yourself back. Because you know you know what's appropriate and you know what's not. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's a time and place for everything. So when sometimes when I feel myself get ready to activate at certain point, I gotta dial them back a little bit. But other than that, uh,
I mean,
I'm never
situations will
not
bring
me.
you to the edge sometimes. It's just like,
The biggest problem though, the biggest problem is this, right? People accept you. People say they accept you for you, right? Then after a while, they want to start changing components of you. Like,
Mm,
well,
mm,
you know, you can say this a little. You can say this way. You can say this way to make me feel a little better.
mm,
How about no?
mm.
This is. I mean, you just. I mean, you've been cool with me all this time and everything like that. Now you want to start turning this, taking the screwdriver and adjusting the screw. No, no,
mhm.
no. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing I don't. Man, you've been close for a very long time. I've never told you you had to change anything about.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
same.
I've never told. Only thing I ever told you is like you got to believe in yourself more. That's it. You got to first of all, I believe everybody should have an insane belief system in themselves,
Woo!
delusional belief system in themselves. Because I'm like, because guess what? Sometimes you're not going to get that push from other people. Some people just won't push you. So, but if you believe, if you think that way, you think so highly of yourself. Is it? I believe there's nothing I can't do. Nothing. But that's the only thing I ever asked you to change about you. Like, hey, bro, you can do that. Stop. You know what I mean? Stop being so. I always tell them stop being down on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to lift yourself up. That you when you leave this earth, you don't want them to say this. Well, he was always so depressed. He was always so sad. He didn't have much confidence. No, I want you when I get up there, they want to say, man, I want you to say this dude ego is. I want you to
This nigga took light skin
yeah,
to the 20th
right.
hour.
Like he believed in himself. You know what I'm saying? He had an insurmountable belief in himself. So you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But like I never ask a person to change who they are. I'll be a hypocrite if I ask you to change who you are. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're doing something insane.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
But that's all I have.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, what you got, brother?
I mean, I think at probably about your age, Reese, I think that's when I really started to become my authentic self. Because I think I was about that age when I started working together.
Not that far away
And
from you in age.
you are. I mean, I was your age, maybe 2 years younger when we first started working together. I was like 30, I think 34, 35, almost 35. So,
How old are you
and
now?
43.
Damn.
But yeah, I was. And like, you remember how I was when I first got there. And people were, the whispers and the wonders. It's like, what's his deal? What's his deal? And there was a few people like, what do y'all mean? He's gay. What? And next, in other news. But it's like still at that point in my life, I was like, you know what? Man, I'm not doing this no more. I'm a grown ass man. I got bills to pay. I'm working just like everybody else here. And it's like, whatever you know, whatever you find out, fuck it. If you don't like me, fuck you. That was it. I took that, like, I came into that part of being my authentic self, probably around that time. And it's like, if you don't like me for one particular thing, but before you get to know all these other things and these amazing things, like I have the confidence to say that I'm generally a good person. I'm always there. I'm willing to help anyone as much as I can. So it's like if that one thing is going to deter someone from getting to know me, too bad. I have to be me now. I have to be me because there was a line of a moment of depression probably sinking in. It's like, well, man, I gotta go to these places. I can't. I gotta wear the mask. Like you said, you don't wear no mask. I felt like probably for most of my life, if I step into different environments around different people, I was not authentic. I had to wear the mask because of what I thought they would think. And it's sad that really mattered to me so desperately now that I look back at it.
Shout out to Vince. I actually think that Vince pushed me to kind of like start being my authentic self unintentionally. Like he was in a singing competition at a gay bar, and it's funny because like he asked me to come, and I'm like, I'm not going. Like, like I have. He'll tell you, I'm probably one
It's
of the
funny you
biggest
didn't really say it like that. But you were like, "Oh, okay, just let me know." It was the hesitation for me. It's just, okay,
I'm
let me know.
one of the biggest
Remind
allies
me.
of like the LGBT. Like I'm a huge supporter of that community, but he asked me to go myself.
Come into the lion's den. It was like,
I like asked one of
can
our
I
female
vote for you by
coworkers. I'm
phone?
like, hey, can you just act like you my girlfriend while we here? Because I don't want nobody hitting on me. And like, so at
They
the
still
night
did.
itself, I was kind of weird at the night itself, but I think the push was on the aftermath when I started talking to people and they were trying to tease me, like, oh, you went to this gay bar. Haha, you went to this gay bar. And I'm like, I supported my friend.
Bottom line.
Like, I want to support
You're
my
like,
friend.
no, I
You know
didn't
what?
go
Fuck
to a
it. I'll
gay
go
bar.
again. Like,
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with myself. Like, I got kids. Like, I have sex with women. Like, I'm not attracted to men. So who cares what optics look like?
Right.
So I think coming from that, I'm like, who cares what optics look like? You want to say I went to a gay bar? Cool. Like, shit. Might go back again if I, really want to.
Yeah.
You can't tell me nothing about me. And
Sadly, I didn't win. No. There's only 2 times you had to be there.
I would tell Vince all the time, like, you can't get me to buy nothing I'm not interested in buying. So what is my fear of being surrounded by gay men?
Right.
Like, I'm not gay. With all due respect, like, I'm not attracted to the same sex in that manner. So it doesn't matter if I'm surrounded by a bunch of people in the same sex. I'm not gonna be attracted to them. Like, I don't eat shrimp. You could put 1,000,000 shrimps on the table. I'm not gonna eat them. You know what I mean? So it gets weird to me sometimes the way that we look at people of the LGBT community and we're like, oh, as long as they're not around me, as long as they're not hitting on me.
Little do a lot of people know they're around you every damn day.
Oh, that's on me.
Yeah, you hear that, John?
Yeah.
I'm like,
my bad.
what the hell is that? All right, well,
But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't matter because if you're comfortable with your sexuality, what the hell do you care, right? Like you curve them the same way you would curve an ugly girl. Like, hey, sorry, sorry, appreciate the compliment, not interested, right? Like that's all it is. So, so thank you for that push. I don't know if I ever told you that, man. Ever since then, I'm like, man, you went to a gay bar and walked away out of it
You
feeling
can do
fine.
anything
You can
now.
be yourself, like you know what I mean, like. And now, and the more you get comfortable in being you, two things happen. So to address your point, right? Like you can accept other people being authentic, even if they're not your cup of tea.
Right.
You'd be like, nah, it might not be my cup of tea, but he's being him. And I accept that he's going to be him. And then the other thing you can do is you can guide people, right? Like I know you said like trying to change people. I think of myself as like trying to guide people. Guidance isn't me trying to say, hey, you're this way, be this way. Guidance is me saying, like, okay, this is the path you're on. Well, you're straying off a little bit. Let me push you down.
Yeah.
Oh, you're straying a little bit. Let me push you up. It's just guidance. It's not trying to change you. It's making sure you stay on the course to get to where you're trying to get to. So that's kind of my thoughts about that.
Yeah, I mean, because what I meant by that is like I even I get, for instance, because we cover this a lot on this podcast. When you even like you look at a relationship, and when you get into it, and I mean they like you the way you are coming in. All it's all butterflies and incense and peppermints, and
Mhm,
then through time, all of a sudden, uh, you can do this better. You can do that better.
mhm,
Yeah,
Mhm.
all right, I'm still the same dude that you picked, but now, uh, I feel a little different now. So I wa- I need you to change this. I need you to change that. I need you to change this. I need you to change that. I mean, like, nah, I'm not coming. Like I came in the game as this. I'm not coming out the game as that.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm not abusing you, verbally abusing you, none of that, none of that type of stuff, neglecting you, none of that. No, you know what I'm saying? Just because you wake up one morning and just say, you know what? He would be perfect if only he would add this. He would be, and then you add that. And this was when you start doing this, that's when you fuck up. You add this. Okay, that's nice, but he'd be even better if he adds that. That's what people do to you, man. That's what people will do to you. Not in just relationships. I'm talking people will do that to you in friendships.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You just add like you. Why do I have to keep adjusting myself to make to fulfill this idea you had?
The okey doke will be a word called compromise.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So when you're willing to compromise, are you still not? Are you not, or do you think you are still being your authentic self within a compromise?
Um, I dated this girl once, and I didn't want any more kids. I've had one since. So that's another story for another podcast. But like, I remember in the earlier conversations one day, she was like, "You want any more kids?" I was like, "No." She said, "Well, this ain't gonna work." Click. And in a moment, I was like, "Damn, she hung up on me. That's disrespectful." But then I said, "Yo, that's dope." She knew what she wanted
Mm-hmm.
enough to say, "Fuck it." Like, I'm not entertaining nothing you bring into the table, right? Like,
Right.
I know who I am. So I think that compromise isn't wrong, but you got to know when to say like, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right?
Right.
Like certain, like I like to play the video game. I might scale back some, like from playing maybe 5 days a week to maybe 3 days a week. But at a certain point, it's like, yeah, you don't deserve me if you really want to take this out of my life. If you really
Mhm.
want to change me, like, because at a certain point, I'm going to be miserable, right?
Right.
And I don't want to be miserable. So you gotta get to a point where you're authentic, being authentically you. It's also you said it yourself, loving you, having the
Yeah.
loving you enough to not let nobody come in that's trying to change who you are, loving yourself enough to not let nobody come in and say, "Well, I don't accept you how you are. I will accept you if you add this." Is like, well, then you don't deserve a seat at my table in my life.
Exactly.
Like,
Hello.
yeah, I mean, and you gotta be confident in that by being authentic you. So the more you practice it, the more you exercise that muscle, the more it expands. And now I'll be at the point I be meeting girls sometimes, bro. They be throwing it at me, and I just be like, nah, don't want that. They're like, oh man, all you gotta do is this, and you can have sex with them. I've had enough sex at this point in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not that pressed. I got enough friends. I'm not that pressed. You know what I mean? Like, and work, that's another situation. That's a struggle for me
Yeah.
because I'm like, I don't change to get the promotion, but like, you got to get to that point where you're like, no, I'm cool with where I am right now.
Yeah.
I'm okay with where I am. I'm looking to add, right? Like, and if you're not a person that's trying to add to my life, then find someone else.
I agree 100%. It's like I don't like when people want you to add for their benefit though. It's different when you're adding for your benefit, but when you adding for their benefit, that's weird shit to me, man. I'm like, no, yeah, yeah, why don't you get your hair cut like this?
No.
No,
No.
for what?
I do what I want. It's my head.
Why? Oh, because I would like that. Well, I would like this. I'm cool with this joint. But you would look better according to who?
Right.
I go get that fucking mohawk and now I'm laughing. Stop.
Not the mohawk.
I'm just saying.
Mohawk or the brohawk?
You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
That's almost popping in like
people would do that.
2009.
People would do that. But people would try to dress you the way they want to dress. It's just weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Been there.
Man,
Been there. Let someone try and dress me.
Yeah. Look at your face.
I did. And it's like, I'm telling you, like, as I look back, I'm like, I really had some ridiculous stuff that I let slide. And like, I was not sitting in my true, authentic self.
So hold on, how was they dressing? How was they dressing you, bro?
They actually looking like E.J. Johnson.
I ain't say cross-dress, bitch. Hell no. It's like, I guess if you went to like 02, between 02, 04, it was like the height of the urban fashions and shit. Like, I was popping out there with my Sean John, my academics, my Nietzsche and all that shit. But I also had, a couple Givenchy's and Coogis in the tuck. But it was still like, that urban shit. Like, it was that shit. And being an idiot, thinking it's cute, messing with somebody older, why your pants so big? Why is this? Why is that? It's Sean John, all that, I got something for you. Like, but it's like I feel like they knew that I was young, naive, and like impressionable.
Right.
So yeah, it's stuff like that. Like I look back and I'm like, wow, I was not being my authentic self when I was with this guy.
Yeah, but yeah, did people ever hit you with that? Just you need to start dressing your age. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, stuff like that.
I ain't never seen an outfit. I never went in the store and they said this is for the 25-year-old. This is for the 30.
Because listen, I see some 35s and 40s in Forever 21. Like, no.
When you see them like 70-year-olds with skinny jeans and Jordan ones and stuff, you don't be looking like, come on, OG man. If you don't toss a fedora on and a blazer and get out of here.
But you know what though?
You can see the arthritis to the skinny jeans.
The skinny jeans is a stretch. But I'm like, the Jordan 1's not a stretch for me because I'm like, you just want to be comfortable. You know what I mean? You like that flat-footed feel. I'm like, I do believe that skinny jeans can go. I think if you're at a certain weight,
skinny jeans can go to hell.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I'm like, when they say dress your age, what? Like, I didn't know age had a dress code. I didn't know that.
Apparently,
you can't wear a hoodie no more because you're 40.
Apparently, 40 means you got your two-piece and your hard shoes, and you go home. Yeah, creases in your jeans. Like Jesus, knockaround clothes, and you go home. You turn on the smooth jazz. That's apparently what 40 meant. Like I saw it in somebody's comments before. Like, oh my God, old head try to rant. You better go home and pull on some jazz. Like
what are you talking about? Like, the same people that say that when they get older, they're gonna be saying what we saying right now. Yo, who the fuck is you to tell me how I'm supposed to dress? Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, that's another thing. Like, let's let people be people. I ain't got nothing to say. I be seeing some big Johns that got
don't start your shit.
Got them belly shirts on. I don't say nothing. Because I'm like, you got, like I said before, you have to have an insane belief system. And I'm like, if she believe this is a wave for her,
then good for her.
I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna back off because I got that level of delusion too. All right, go ahead. I'll let you have that. And I'll keep my thoughts to myself and I'll think it as long as I stare at you. I'll never utter a word.
Somebody be like, what you looking at? Oh, nothing.
The wall behind you.
Right.
Wall.
Wall
That's a
behind you.
nice painting. I've always liked that
I
painting.
always want-
Mine.
I always want to paint in my
Right.
house that color.
Y'all know a lot of that shit stems back to like control issues, right? Like a lot of people have issues with wanting to be controlling. And if you get into a relationship with a controlling individual, they get really mad when they realize they can't control you, when they realize they can't manipulate you because you comfortable in who you are enough to
Don't start your shit again.
because you comfortable enough with who you are that motherfucker can't control you. They start getting really mad.
Mhm.
Then they start to put it on you, right? Like, and this is again why you gotta love yourself. That's why I love what you introduced with Matic. Like, you gotta love yourself to the point that you know, like, man, this nigga talking bullshit. Like, I'm not taking that. Like, I know who I am. Like, you can't control me, right? Like, I'm comfortable in who I am. I'm comfortable like this. I'm comfortable in the way I look. And if you don't like it, well, find somebody else. Like, because this is me.
Mhm.
This is I got it tattooed right here. Like literally, this is me. That's why I have it tattooed right here.
You just want to flex.
Nah, I don't work out. But like this is me. Like, you're gonna take me for how I am. Like, am I willing to make some adjustments? Absolutely. I'm not sitting here saying that like I'm a stick in the mud and I can't change it
Right.
at all. But like we all know a homie who done kicked it with us every weekend and then they get a girl and you don't see them for the whole relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And then he come back outside when she gone.
right.
And then everything you was thinking about her, then he start telling you.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, she was.
Right.
And you be like, I've been new.
Uh-huh.
I ain't seen you in a year and a half. I've been new. First of all, if any man or woman try to keep you away from your friends,
Mm, mm,
I ain't even gotta say no more. After that.
mm,
That's
mhm,
that's
Mhm.
insane. That's insane.
Mhm.
mhm,
I hope I don't want. Do you being around being around your partner is cool and all, right? But you need a release.
mhm,
You need separation. You know what I'm talking about? You need that. You need the world, bro.
Having been in relationships or being married and things like that, do you feel like it's manipulative for your partner or spouse to say, you don't need to be hanging with with single people? Do you think hanging with single people is troublesome and influential on that person?
Depending on the person.
Yeah,
It all depends on the person. Like
on both sides, right?
yeah,
Like, depends on
definitely.
who you are and depending on who that homie is.
Who your single
Yep.
homie is, right?
Right.
Listen, but look, I'm gonna tell you what. When them married women be around them single women, look, a married man could be around a single man and you know what I'm saying, he'll respect it. He'll respect it. He don't got too much to say about anything. But that single woman will be like, so when she say, soon as the husband call and say, I need you to come do X, Y, and Z, the single girl, why you gotta go? So you gonna hurry up and go? I mean, this is all of them. I've seen it. I'm like,
Instigations.
yeah. Because they want you to jump off their boat. Come with us. Come swim with us.